Hi, this is Dwayne. Anyway, I just did a little small video because it's just so much to write. I can shorten it down in a video. So let me give you a little backstory. So I'm a combat vet. I served in Macedonia, served in Bosnia. I was attached to a Ranger battalion, and so just it was pretty ugly. Um, I saw a lot of things while serving, even in peacetime. Um, so to move forward, through the course of my life, I've had PTSD from it and other things. I've had some psychiatrists who try to help me, and just they can never really get to me, I guess. So I finally got with the VA, and the VA got me attached to this psychiatrist who's a brain trauma psychiatrist because I have TBI, traumatic brain injury, as well. Um, so she's a phenomenal lady. She served in the Navy, taught psychiatry in the Navy, taught at Harvard. I mean, her accolades are beyond reproach. So we started doing things. A couple years go by, and I reach out to him like, look, I said, I think I need a little bit more, So we started to put our heads together, and I did some research and stumbled across service dogs for vets. So reached out to a few. I got denied by Southeastern Guide Dogs out in Tampa, St. Petersburg, somewhere like that, because I'm bipolar as well. So I had this lady tell me that they don't cater to, oh, they do cater to vets, but they don't cater to vets with bipolar. Because in their theory, is vets with bipolar, I mean, people with bipolar are abusive animals. It's like, where's that come from? I'm like, whatever, y'all don't want to deal with me, whatever. So I came across New Horizons. So that's where I met all that. So I got ahead of myself. So I talked to my psychiatrist, said, hey, let's do a service dog. Said, let's look into it, find out information, let's go on. Let's try it. So that's when what I just told you, now we're at New Horizons again. So they give me pretzel. I went through 2 weeks of training. I met Wendy and the whole crew there, and became really good friends with them. I'm really especially good friends with another trainer. She lives not too far from me, about like 5 or so minutes. Actually, no, 10 minutes. Sorry, and so we take pretzel at different time. So because she has a service dog she's training, so we just keep pretzel refreshed basically. So anyway, so now let's go to reasons why I told my psychiatrist why I really wanted to do a service dog. Because a guy I served with, I'm 6'3", 300 pounds. Well, back then I was 200. Either way, a big guy. I was deployed with this guy, a huge guy, you know, calls me up and says, hey, Vines, he said, let's go to Disney, man. Let's get the family together. We're going to Disney tomorrow. We're coming from Alabama. Let's go to Disney tomorrow. You want to get the families together? I say, yeah, let's get the families together. Yeah, let's do that. It'd be great to have the families hear our stories. I mean, firsthand from another side of view, another brother about another brother. So now you would imagine that with this big guy who used to carry an M16 and a 9mm, and a K-bar is what they call it, basically a knife. If you wanted to snap, mentally snap, or whatever, I might not be here. I felt safe. I should feel safe with him. So we went to Disney, and this large crowd's messing me hard. I'm always scanning for exit points. It's called hypervigilance, and I'm looking at everybody. So having a good time. I'm scanning, looking at this. Okay, this woman's wearing a black skirt and and a red top, and this guy's wearing a rainbow shirt, and this guy's wearing this, and this guy's wearing that, and this chick's wearing that. So instead of having a good time, I'm focused on all that because I'm worried about like an active shooter type situation. I even sit, when I go to a restaurant, I sit in the back of the restaurant or facing, or if I'm not sitting in the back of a restaurant, I have to be sitting facing the front door so I can keep scanning and looking and for active shooter. So anyway, so that Disney trip opened my eyes up to reality for me. I'm let me give background on me. I started martial arts when I was 8 years old. I hold 4 black belts in 4 different styles. I've studied for over 40 years. Actually 41 to be exact. I'm currently a 3rd degree black belt in Taekwondo. I actually kind of retired about 6 months ago. But, so you would think someone and a combat vet and all that, you would think a person with my background wouldn't be afraid. I am. So that's what made me started thinking about what made me actually lead to go to my psychiatrist and actually tell my psychiatrist, let's do a service dog. So what Pretzel does for me is this, is you're a razor, so you should agree with what I'm about to say. We humans, excuse me, are born with the fact of knowing that dogs are protectors. No matter what breed, dogs are protectors, even from a Chihuahua to a Chiweenie or whatever, to a Lab. So he gives me that sense of, Pretzel won't do nothing. Pretzel would not do anything at all. He's not aggressive at all. It doesn't bark, doesn't do nothing. The only time he barks is when it's past his feeding time, remind us it's time to eat, or it's late at night and we're asleep and he's got to go potty, and he'll bark to let us know he's got to go outside. Sometimes he'll bark, or we give him the command to bark. So it gives me that sense, false of, security, that I've got my dog with me. Hey, okay. So now Pretzel was trained for social distancing before COVID even was a thought. So what he does for me is, so when we go to, he does it automatically now. I don't have to give him the commands to do it. But if I go to Publix, I'm sorry, I don't think you have a Publix up there. But say we go to a grocery store. So I go to the grocery store and I'm going to go check out. So what he does is, the command is actually, I don't do this so much, oh my God. Anyway, he goes in front of me and he gets in between me and the person in front of us. So he creates that gap between me and that. Now, I give him the command to cover. He'll come behind me and he'll do the same thing behind me if the guy or person is too close. Again, Pretzel's not going to do nothing. So that's 2 things he does for me. Okay, keep me social distancing, basically. He actually does things that he really wasn't trained for. Because he's a Lab, and with all the training, I believe, there's no proof to this, but it's just my belief, is what I'm about to tell you is, because Labs, number one, are intelligent, that with all the training that Pretzel has, like over 80 commands and this, that, and the other. Because Pretzel's trained for PTSD, autism, and mobility. His strength is PTSD. His second strength is mobility. His third is autism. But anyhow, so, like, this is, like, if I get nervous or if I get upset, like if I really get upset and my blood's boiling, and I'm getting ready to get hot. He knows that. So what he'll start doing is he'll come over and start nudging me, like, chill, relax, you know, or lick my hand or something to let me know, hey, dude, I'm here, just chill, relax, He's done that many times. The other things that he does the other thing he does for me is I have what they call a vestibular disorder as well, where pressure in my ears are not equal, they're imbalanced. So what does that mean? Well, that means that from time to time I'll get so dizzy that it makes vertigo look like nothing. I'll get so dizzy that it will literally put me on the ground. I'll collapse. So what Pretzel does that he was not trained for, again, not trained for, is he will, when I collapse, he'll lick my face, I guess to let me know he's there. Then he'll go and find my wife, and then he'll start, okay, so I told you the other time about barking. Yeah, this is the other time he does bark. He'll start barking to let her know, hey, you need to follow me. So he'll bring her in there. Now, this is what New Horizons trained him to do on this. They have a command to brace. And that command is he locks out all four of his legs. He locks out. He's stiff as a board. I can kind of use him to kind of like push up to try and get myself up a little bit. I won't do it so much, just enough to get me up to another counter or something so I can get myself up with that, because I don't want to break his back. But that's one of the things he's trained for, is brace. That's what Wendy and them train for, is brace. Now, there's a few other things, but those are more than likely, those are the actual main ones that he does for me. But, again, I mean, the whole going out in public with him, it eases down. It brings it down. Me and the kids went to Busch Gardens about 6-8 months ago. It's the first time I took Pretzel to a theme park. And my wife's like, hey, you think there's going to be any difference from the time we went to Disney with your buddy to now? I said, well, we're about to find out. So honestly, I would say, yeah, there was a good drop. I would say, so Disney would be 100%, and Busch Gardens was down to maybe 60%. I was a little bit more relaxed, so I could enjoy time with my family. So Pretzel, again, not even doing anything physically for me, just being there is a lot. That's majority of it. And my psychiatrist actually wrote a report to New Horizons, and I'll find it and I'll share it with you, of the what she sees the difference in me because of Pretzel. Because she says I'm a little bit more open to talk, and I'm more kind of like relaxed talking to her. I mean, I just recently came out with a few things with her just recently that shocked her. But yeah, I just the dogs do massive wonders. I mean, yeah, and there's times where I might be too lazy and I drop my keys or something. I'll be like, Pretzel, I'll make Pretzel get it. So if I want, I can actually have Pretzel go get me a Mountain Dew out of the refrigerator. He pulls open the refrigerator, gets the Mountain Dew, brings it to me, because it's set up a certain way so he can grab it. So, I mean, that's very rare that I do that. If I'm hurting or whatever, I'm going to have surgery in late December, so I might be doing that quite more frequently. But yeah, I mean, people like you is what vets like me are appreciated of. I mean, I appreciate what you do. I really do. I honestly, wholeheartedly appreciate you and your husband with y'all's I'm sorry. You're raising, your breeder, being a breeder. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap that up. I appreciate it, and have a good night. Just let me know what you think about the video, if it helps you understand more. But you know, each dog is trained generally for trained all the way for everything, but you know, I don't need half the stuff that he does. You know, so but with Pretzel being a royal trained dog and a lab's highly intelligent. You know, him being, you know, a lab is, I will say this, is labs, I've heard this through many people, not only New Horizons, but other organizations, that most organizations like to give labs to vets. And the reason being is this, is Pretzel is going on 8 years old. But man, sometimes he gets the mindset like he's eight weeks old. So my mind, I kind of gotta get him in check from sometimes, you know. So with me getting him back in check, it helps relieve my mind. You know what I'm saying? So labs are extremely intelligent. They're full of energy, and they stay young mentally. So with that being said, so let me know what you think. If you have any questions, reach out. Thank you. Good night.